Okay, this is our feature video for the month of September, and welcome again. Guys, what I want to talk about today is the difference between credit card financing and home equity line of credit. So let me just recap the difference. A home equity line of credit is very simple. It's a line of credit that is given to you by your bank that most of the time is secured via a mortgage on your personal residence. Naturally, the interest rate, the terms and conditions are going to be better than a credit card. Some of you guys could get a home equity line of credit for probably prime plus 1, prime plus 3/4. That's awesome. And basically, repayments sometimes will be interest only, principal interest, minimum 2%. So terms will be different on the repayment schedule. But what I want to bring up here is that some people come and say, well, Mark, I could get a home equity line of credit for, let's say, 3%. Why would I use my credit card to buy real estate or to make some renovation and so on? Well, let me explain to you the major difference, what I see anyway. Home equity line is secured by your home. So basically what you've done is to start with in your real estate investment career, you've given your most valuable asset, the thing that you do not ever want to give away. You don't want to lose your house because a deal goes sour in real estate. Do we agree? So, and most bankers, well, what happens is if you go see your own bank, that's the first thing that they will offer. Why? It's because they've got the best security in the world. So you go see your banker and say, Mr. Banker, I'd like to borrow some money. I need some money to do some real estate or do some renovation. The first thing that they offer you is, listen, John, no problem. Listen, what we'll do is we'll get you a home equity line of credit. You have equity in your house. We'll go up 75% or whatever they decide to do. And that's what they will do. But what you're really doing there is you're not borrowing. They're just lending you money on the value of your house, which as far as I know is a risk for you guys. So home equity line, that's a disadvantage. Now, the credit card is another story. People say, well, what do you mean, Mark? We're going to finance our properties. We're going to do a renovation. We're going to use cash from our credit card. But the interest rate is extremely high on a credit card. Well, here's the reality here. There are some credit cards out there that have a fix, not a money transfer or a balance transfer, at rates of 4.2% in Canada. And in the States, you got some at 5.9 and 6.9. What you have to do is you have to shop your credit card interest rate and what you're paying for. So my first thing is do a Google search, Canadian credit cards, and look and compare what credit card is available. And to give you a reality check is we have a bank in Canada that has an 18.9 credit card, which is the one I used to have. And then you call them up and say, listen, I'd like to have your lowest interest rate credit card. And they offered me a fixed term, 4.2% interest, unsecured. That means if something goes wrong, yes, you might have, you'll have a different challenge, but at least you don't lose your house automatically. And the other good thing is that when you do this, you basically approve for that amount. And you could pay it back, borrow again, pay back. And the more you're going to borrow on these lines of credit, on these credit cards, the more offers like this that you will receive. I don't know if you guys realize that, but the more credit you have, the better the client you are, and the more they want to get you hooked up on a bad card. So my quick recommendation is get 2 or 3 of those cards at low interest rate. Use these cards for acquisition costs, land transfer, deposit, renovation, and even in some places you'll be able to use your credit card to buy a real estate, period. That's not a bad idea. I bought 5 properties in Detroit, Michigan, and I paid cash. Well, no, actually I used my credit cards at 4.2, 6.9, and 7.9% financing, but I did not have to go to my bank and ask for permission to get that money. It was available. Why? Because it was available to me because I've been spending on it. So you have to be a seasoned investor. You have to know what you're getting into before actually get into credit card. And now the idea is not to go get 15 credit cards and rack up these things on consumer goods. No, these credit cards should be used for you to have available financing to sustain your real estate investment. Sometimes deposits. Now, effectively, it will be calculated in total debt service ratio. You will have a hit on your credit, but let me tell you something. Sometimes it's easier to use my credit card than to go to my bank and borrow to buy a car or to do some renovation. Why? Because when you go to your bank, What do they want? They want everything as a guarantee. Do we agree? They want your house, your car, your RSPs. They want to transfer all your accounts to them, and they are controlling you. Well, if you have 5 credit cards with 5 different financial institutions, guess what? Nobody's going to fight for information and so on. And when you want to increase your credit cards, every 6 months, give them a call. Can you please increase? You'll lose some points, guys, but if you use it properly and you maintain payment and you pay them well and you pay them like, 1 month you'll pay that card, next month you'll pay that one out, and you flip your credit cards through your deals, guess what? Your credit score will go up, you'll be a better client, and you'll have available credit. And that's why I do recommend you guys to have 2, 3, 4, 5 high credit cards. But again, please don't go out and buy your vacation on it, your plasma TV, consumer goods on your credit cards. Your credit cards should be used to fund your real estate investment career. And there's also something I say, if you can't afford to pay cash, and this is a tip for you guys, if you can't afford to pay cash for a consumer good purchase, you can't afford to drive it, to buy it, to use it, or to go on vacation with. Does that make any sense for you guys? What I'm saying here is that if I want to go on vacation, I can't afford to pay cash. Like right now, I can't afford to go on vacation, go work 1 more month. If I want to buy a motorcycle and I have to borrow it on a credit card, it means that I can't afford to drive a motorcycle. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm not saying that you do not put it on financing. I'm just saying you must be able to afford to pay for it cash. Because why would you want to use your cash, use credit card to buy a car when companies are offering you financing at 1.9? But you have to be able to afford it. So this is my video of the month for the month of September, guys. If you want more, come and see our site. Every month we'll have a new featured video. Thanks and have fun. We'll talk to you soon.